Why should I be involved in the industry? Why should I participate in the legislative process? Why should I even care about what's going on in Austin or in Washington? Why should I invest my time in the legislative process? These are questions that are frequently asked by younger generations as they enter the workforce. The younger generations who are multitaskers, who are connected, who are tech savvy. The younger generations who often want instant gratification and recognition, who demand a better work-life balance than the generations before them. Why should I care? Why? For you, the younger generation. For you, who are the future leaders in this industry. For you, who are searching for an answer to why. For you, in this room, right now. The YCC wants to answer your questions. The YCC wants to give you the reasons why being involved in the legislative process has been and will continue to be the difference between being in business and being out of business. The YCC wants to help you succeed in your job today and in the industry forever. So we went down to Austin to talk with legislators, to hear from those people who want and need to hear from you, and to talk with legislators about what your involvement in the legislative process means to them and why it matters. Our trip to Austin included visits with Representative Justin Holland from State House District 33 and Representative Jeff Leach from State House District 67. The insight they provided was invaluable.
I always like to say that whenever the legislature is in session, your life, your liberty, and your property are in jeopardy. And you know, I say that kind of tongue-in-cheek, but it's true. There are a number of pieces of legislation here. I mean, we'll consider literally thousands of pieces of legislation over the next 110 days. And every single one of those bills, whether it's public education or transportation or public safety or construction, every single one of those bills impacts a Texan or impacts a Texas business or an industry. And so what I would say to the members from YCC who are coming to the Capitol is to realize that these issues are vitally important. There's bills that want to tax more, that want to regulate more, that want to grow government, that want to get more involved. There's members here who want to get more involved in the construction industry to chip away at some of the freedoms, some of the strongholds that we've built in our industry in recent years. And so what I would say is to know that every single piece of legislation, every amendment, every bill we consider impacts a Texan, and many of them impact the Texas construction industry.
I think it's extremely important for you to get involved in politics, especially with your business and industry, because there are so many things that the legislature does that gets into your business that you should make your business politics, if that makes sense. You should be involved. You should come and visit the Capitol. You should come get to know who your local and regional, county, state elected officials are, because they make the decisions that drive the economic forces of your industry.
When people stop caring about what happens here at the Capitol or what, you know, in Washington, D.C., or for that matter, school boards and city council meetings, when people stop caring and stop being engaged and stop investing, they're going to find themselves living under laws that they don't like.
Well, just like anything else in your life, when you stop being involved in the political process, you become complacent and you become uneducated about the issues that are facing you, and you can be caught off guard by something if you're not always constantly keeping your thumb on the pulse of your industry.
So for someone that's never been on a legislative day visit or maybe has never even been to the Capitol before, in our office, and I think in most offices, you'll find a welcoming environment. You'll find staffers who are eager and ready to listen and who have good questions. You'll find legislators who are very busy. You know, we're scheduled back-to-back meetings all day, every day, and that doesn't include when we're in committee hearings or on the floor of the Texas House. So even if it's a limited amount of time that we as legislators actually get to spend with people who are coming into our office, that 5 or 10 or 15 or maybe 30 minutes is very valuable to us.
So when somebody opens the door, you're probably going to see people that look just like us, young staffers. You'll see people from the different age ranges, just out of college or interns. And so we know people that come in for especially like lobby days, that they'll probably be the same people like us.
Whenever you come in, be prepared, but don't be nervous. It's going to be a friendly environment. We want to know what you all have to say because we want to be informed on the issues.
You have so many staffers that have so many different experiences that you don't even know about. So I think that's one thing that's really neat about the different areas across Texas, seeing the different experiences and the different people that are in the state.
So we do our best as legislators to meet with every single person that comes into our office. I have a 100% meeting policy, so if someone specifically wants to meet with Representative Leash, we're going to find a small window of time to do that if we're able to do so. But just as valuable is when they come into my office or come into our offices and meet with our staffers, whether it's our chief of staff or legislative director or legislative aide. There are many times when we walk onto the House floor for an important vote or a series of important votes, and we'll have read the legislation but rely heavily on our chief of staff, the counsel that we receive from our staffers. And so I would say whether they get to meet with legislators or staffers, treat it the same, because ultimately the same information is going to get to the legislator before the vote is taken.
Sure. I would say the best way to maximize your visit with your representatives is to be prepared. Have a sheet, have something that you're concerned with, have bullet points, be able to speak confidently on those. Know whether or not something's been introduced into if bills have been filed either on the Senate or the House side. Have numbers and reference points to be able to hand to them and tell them and hand over to their staff and say, these are the things we're concerned about. These are our issues. Here's how it affects our industry, and here's where we stand on this.
What I would encourage people to do when they walk into my office is to be ready to engage in a conversation, not to just talk at me or my staff, but to talk with us.
First, a firm handshake. That goes a long way. So always when you walk into the office, shake the staff's hands, get to know them, and then I think just passion for the topic that you're trying to introduce to us and fill us in on. I think that's huge.
The top thing I would say whenever you're visiting the Capitol, put your best foot forward, is be prepared. I can't tell you, especially from younger people my age or even a little bit older, they come in a lot of times not prepared.
Send a follow-up email. I think that would be great. I think that goes far. Saying that, hey, thank you for taking the time to meet with us. Here are some things that we touched on at our meeting. Let us know how we can be a resource to you, and vice versa. I think that would be great.
Clearly, there are priorities for the construction industry, pieces of legislation that we need to work aggressively to pass. And we've got to work within the system and work quickly to educate legislators, Republican, Democrat, conservative, liberal, from the city or from rural Texas. We've got to, it's YCC's responsibility to educate us on the issues that are important, the bills that we need to stop and the bills that we need to pass. That's why their visit here to the Capitol is so important.